Hey, so this is mostly a video for my friends, but I wanted to show off weapon inaccuracy in CS2, how to display it, basically what it looks like on different guns, velocity and acceleration in CS2, counter-strafing, using counter-strafing on guns like the Op and AK, and the donk slide, the ultimate peak. I think my mic is tweaking, it has a little bit of like fuzziness, but you're just going to have to ignore that. So basically, weapon inaccuracy is where your bullet will go when you shoot, where your bullet will go. So right now, my bullet will go somewhere in this box. It's not 100% accurate. Even when I'm fully crouching like this, it's not 100% just a dot on my screen. It's going to be like a little box. I found this setting to show weapon inaccuracy of a tweet. I think it was a nades out here. I literally just saw it. It inspired me to make this video. So in order to enable weapon inaccuracy like this, you have to be on a private server, svcheats equals true. You have to have the setting weapon underscore debug underscore spread underscore show 1, and you also have to have a dynamic crosshair on. So I just have the classic crosshair instead of classic static. So two things about weapon inaccuracy. It's slightly worse than when you're running, obviously. This goes for all guns. Pistol's not so bad. That's also slightly better when you're crouching. So it tightens up a little bit. So here is some examples of different guns, weapon inaccuracy, and how that like kind of dictates how you should use them. Mac 10, like pretty good running accuracy. You're pretty much always going to be want to be running when you're using this thing. It also has like pretty good jumping accuracy, like even compared to the Glock. Look at this, boom, pretty fucking accurate. So don't be afraid to go for like jump shots around corners, like right here. You're probably gonna hit the guy, especially if you're just spraying at him like that. And obviously, yeah, this goes for most other SMGs too. Pretty good jumping accuracy, pretty good running accuracy. I'll show the MP5, whatever. But for the AK, obviously, you don't want to run with this thing. You're not gonna fucking hit anything. And so this brings me back to the next point of how inaccuracy is calculated. It's based on velocity. So basically, in source games, wait, hold on. Whoa, my mic isn't fuzzing out. So basically, in source games, how movement works to make it feel smooth, you don't just like stop and start on a dime. You have acceleration before you reach your top speed, and then also when you stop, you don't just stop moving on a dime. You have like a slight stop there, so you're decelerating. Think about it think about it as if you were on ice, but just like way slower. Obviously, I'm not actually sliding around that much, but when I let go of A or D. Also, yeah, I have this weird fucking overlay. This is a keyboard overlay. I just found it online. When I let go of A or D, I'm not stopping instantly. And so, how accuracy is calculated in this game, as you might imagine, is based on how close your velocity is to 0. So when your velocity is perfectly 0, then you'll be perfectly accurate. But then you might be like, okay, if I swing out like this, I want to be perfectly accurate right away, or else I got to wait a little bit before I can shoot. Well, you can actually stop this kind of slight velocity you have right by inputting left velocity at the same time. So you're like zeroing it out. It's kind of like, I don't know, like collision detection, or like when you're colliding with something in real life, how it just zeroes out your velocity. So as you can see here, imagine I'm trying to shoot a guy here. So I swing out. Oh man, I'm not accurate for a while. He might kill me. But I can counter strafe. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm accurate much faster because I'm zeroing out my velocity in a faster way. You can see it here. Moving for a little bit, instantly stopping. So this is why counter strafing is a thing. Obviously, I just showed you with the AK how it can be useful, being accurate right away. It's way easier to see with the op, where obviously, as you already know, the scope will be like blurry when you're not accurate. So here's me swinging out to peek this guy over here. Versus swinging out to peek this guy over here while counter strafing. So again, it's counter strafe. Much faster. So this brings me to the last thing I kind of want to mention, which is the donk slide, which I don't think donk even does anymore. But basically it uses two elements, the fact that when you're crouching, you have better accuracy overall, and you also don't lose your accuracy while you're moving, and also counter strafing. So what the donk slide is you build up your maximum velocity, boom, you're building it up, then you counter strafe and crouch at the same time. and then you start moving to the left. So this is what it looks like in motion. Shitty spray, but so it uses two elements, like I said. Counter strafing to zero out your velocity, and then immediately, so that makes the first bullet when you're crouching be accurate, and then you also get the crouching accuracy. And you'll also kind of mess up if they're trying to track you. If they see you like going like this, it kind of like it's like a little trick. So you're not just moving linearly in one direction. You're moving in two directions to make it a little harder to hit you. I think a lot of pros, I mean, it doesn't come up too often, but I think pros nowadays will like try to do like this when they're shooting. When they're full spraying, they'll go like this to make themselves harder to hit. Pretty cool stuff. But anyways, this is kind of just like quick crash course on weapon inaccuracy. How it looks like on different guns. And why you should counter strafe. I hope this was educational. Goodbye.